Hey, good morning, folks. We're over here at Lindo Lake, getting ready to do a car review. We actually have the mayor and his constituents right behind us. They came over to check out to see what we were going to talk about. I actually think they were coming over here to see if I had any food for them, but I had to break their little hearts and say, no, you're going to have to go look for bugs and beetles. So we're going to go ahead and chat with you about another vehicle here at Lindo Lake. This is a 2025 Lexus UX300H, which is a hybrid. And when you look at it, you think, wow, it's not real big. It's not real small. You know, what is the purpose of this? I kind of thought the same thing until I got in it. Once I crawled in it, oh my gosh, it turned out to be a wonderful vehicle. Good morning. That little guy fit in there perfectly. But I understand what Lexus is doing when they decided to do this. It's got phenomenal fuel mileage, and I guess that's really the case. 40 mile per gallon plus. How could you beat that? Two-row vehicle, you know? Oh, wow, take a look at this, folks. Got a nice paint job on that. Look at that. Kind of stealthy. Can't even see who's in there. It's 9-jaw is who's in there. You got a 2-liter 4-cylinder hybrid. You got a CVT transmission, all-wheel drive, which is really awesome. You've got LED headlights. You got the Lexus Safety 3.0. Easiest thing to do, go to the website. It'll explain that to you, A to Z. 12.3 touch screen, great navigation. You can turn it on daytime, nighttime. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM with a 3-month service. I like it because XM and Sirius, they give you a plethora of stations to listen to. Everything from news to sports to music to my favorite, if you have it in your car, Station 148, which is classic radio, shows from the 40s and the 50s with commercials. Boy, they advertise stuff back there, folks, that would curl the administration's hair today. It is just absolutely crazy. Now, this is the F Sport, and you get a lot of bells and whistles with F Sport. And things like you get new Lex trimmed heated and ventilated seats. You've got the F Sport steering wheel with all the controls right there. Aluminum scuff plates so that when you get in and out, you're not going to hit the carpet. Power steering, adaptive suspension. It does ride extremely well. Even though it looks small, it really drives well. 18-inch sport wheels, and they're kind of a gunmetal gray, which I think works perfectly. Rain sensing wipers, power moonroof, the 12.3 center cluster for all your navigation and all of the things that you would need there. Intuitive park assist. I haven't figured out what that is. And then you've got, as an option, a phone charger, wireless, heads-up display, probably one of the better ones I've seen. You could program that heads-up if you like. Bitone paint, which is two-tone. Got black and you've got this blue mica. They charge you $350 for that, and then another $595 for the actual paint itself. I don't know why they just didn't include it all in one, but they chose not to do so. 44 city, 40 highway, 42 combined. I'm getting about 41.9 combined. So I'm more than there. Unleaded fuel, which is really a bonus. You've got the hybrid, and then, of course, you've got the all-wheel drive hybrid. Bases out at 38,110. Good morning. Oh, come right ahead. Merry Christmas. This particular model's got all the bells and whistles. 46,375, about 1920 in options. Freight's about 1150. So this is going to roll out the door minus tax and license, 49,445. Edmunds gives it a 5 out of 5. If you look at their ratings, you get 150 horsepower. So it's really a Lexus, okay? It's not a Toyota. Yeah, I know it's a Toyota, but it's really more Lexus because when you get into Lexus, Lexus adds a lot more bells and whistles to it. So let's take a look. We'll take a walk around and see what you think. All right. Now, as you come walking up to it, again, it's got your typical Lexus waterfall grill. You either like it or you don't. I mean, I've had people go either way. I think the color of the grill has a lot to do with it. You've got all your cameras, your radar, all your lane departure sensing devices. You got side vents for not only aerodynamics, but also for cooling of your brakes. You've got color-coded fender cladding, which I like, versus painting it gray or black. I like the fact that it's all kind of molded in. Got your F Sport logo so people know what you've got. Easy access, opening. I mean, real easy. Doors open nice and wide. Cup holders. You got your aluminum floor pedals and footrest, and your scuff plate, like I mentioned earlier. You got a huge navigation and information screen. You got nice carpeting, very nice leather, heated and cooled seats. Once we get in, I'll show you some of the features. Really nice phone charger. It goes off right tucked underneath the dash, real easy to get to. It does, and it'll tell you on the screen whether or not you're charging or not, which I've had no issues with at all. You've got another nice feature. You got these really good roof racks. So if you want to add accessories to it, like a Thule rack or a bicycle rack, you know, it's got this nice groove system in it. And your Lexus parts department would have all the toys and bells and whistles you could ever want. Back seat. Now, granted, it's a little bit, it's a little bit tight because I've got the driver's seat all the way back. You've also got your center release. Thank you. You have a wonderful day. Merry Christmas. Center console. So you can, put your cup holders, coffee cups, water, what have you. You could also lower the seats manually, of course, by just pulling it down. Or you can do it from the rear. Really nice, stylized wing on top. It keeps his back window cleaner than you would think. And then let's see what we got here. Let's see. This should just pop right up. There we go. Just got to hit the right button. Got a nice little format right here. Okay. Or this actually is a screen that goes on top. And see, look at this. It's very pliable, which I think is good because that way you don't have to, if it's a hard plastic, it's a little tough. You got your connectors right here for your 12 volt on this side. So if you have to plug in an accessory, Lexus gives you a first aid kit, which is pretty handy. This one is manual. When you put the seats down, all you have to do is just push forward like that. And that's a pretty flat surface. So if you had to load up more Christmas presents, I will tell you, and that's the reason this cushion is down, it will not take a 200 Dachshund crate. That's what I used it for. Had to take 9 puppies to the vet to get their clarifications. It wouldn't fit, had to use another vehicle. Nice storage inside. Not quite sure what that is for, but, oh, I see. This is for your tonneau cover. If you don't want to use it, you can just fold it in. And then this is kind of neat. You've got your front license plates. You've got tools to pull you out of a ditch. This says a space saver. There's no tire. It's a pump and you just inflate and go. Real nice. Push down. Closes really nice and easy. Let's go ahead and we'll put the videographer in the back seat and give you an idea of what you're going to see in the front seat. Now I'll go ahead and put my seat forward so that he can get in comfortably, which is real easy to do. There we go. I think that'll give him enough room to squeeze in. So I'll go ahead and crawl in. And we'll close that door. Sunroof, very nice. Push button start. Give you all your controls, a little fancy stuff coming up. Okay, and then it tells you we're in the Toyota Lexus West. It knows exactly where we are. Hit continue. And it's doing the Q1 charging. So it lets you know that my phone tucked down in here in front of the cup holders, easy access. You got your music, you've got, I don't have anything on. If I want to add a phone, I can actually look for my favorites, my contact, recent, use the keypad if necessary. I can text a message. You've also got your vehicle for climate, comfort, driving assist, trip information, energy flow, which is kind of interesting. Now, we're not driving, but if we were, there's where your battery is, which I'm sitting on basically. And you got your electric motors in the front, electric motor in the rear. And then, of course, I think that's another auxiliary battery in the back. I'm not 100% sure. But it gives you an opportunity, if you're driving down the road, you can see what it's doing between front and rear, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, there's all your personal information, Bluetooth devices, and what have you. When it comes to this screen here, what you've got is, this is the basic. It shows that EV driving time looks like 100%, 1 second since I started it. Now, I can change all of this by just pushing buttons up and down and go to the left. So that's more of a speedometer. That tells you your actual average for fuel. And then, of course, your driving information. I don't know if our camera can pick up the heads-up display. It's very well positioned in the front, but you can walk through all of these. This will also give you stability, as far as like if your acceleration, your braking, turning left and turning right. And I guess as long as you stay within that little red circle, you're safe to go. What else we got here? So that's pretty much what you've got. So you can set your dash up the way you would like it. And then, of course, everything can go back. You can make all your phone calls from here as well. I kind of like this one right here because it gives me my average speed plus adaptive cruise control, and it'll tell you what kind of fuel mileage. I've got 176 miles left on a tank of fuel, which is very nice. And then it gives you whether I'm in an EV and ready. Because right now, we're ready to go, but there's no engine running. So if you don't hear an engine running, you're thinking, well, how do I know? It's got an electric steering column, goes telescope, tilt, high, tells me it's 57 degrees outside, which brings up this nice little pad here, auto cool and auto heat in the driver's seat. Same thing with the passenger. And on the driver, it can be auto. In other words, if I get in the morning and it was like 45 degrees, I started the car up, my seat automatic came on and my steering wheel automatically came on, which I thought was phenomenal. I mean, to be able to have those features right there, I didn't have to mess with it. And believe it or not, in a very short driving period, I mean, it was toasty in here. I was totally comfortable. Lexus always gives you all your controls, nice and easy to get to. Just a simple touch of it to turn it off. And it tells you your fan is off, turn the fan on, change your temps just by no more than just touching the button, okay? And you can do the driver separate from the passenger, which is kind of nice. You got your mirrors, and those are heated mirrors in case you were to move someplace where it's chilly. I wouldn't recommend. So you can turn those off as well. Vent factors work really well. Emergency, that's very easy. You've got, I can find the there. There we go. Sometimes you just look. Pretty decent glove boxes for your owner's manual. And you've got your paperwork, for service records. And then, of course, you've got your center console. It's a real easy open. It's not the biggest in the world, but it does, I think by having that pointy protrusion that comes out, makes for a nice touch. So that's kind of your 2025 Lexus UX300H. You're going to think, maybe it's a little on the pricey side. Maybe it is, but then again, it is a Lexus. So you could probably float over to the Toyota website and see if there was something close to this. Like I said, I thought it was a little on the small side, but I take that back. This has fit me truly perfectly. So I recommend you at least go take a ride if you have a situation where you're beginning a family. You can lock baby seats in the back seat, and maybe you're in an area where you don't have a lot of large parking. I think, the Lexus could probably do it for you, no problem. Oh, by the way, it does tell me the windows are open. It'll also tell you if you leave your phone in the car. Lexus does work real hard to make sure you and the car are one. All right, UX300H, take a look. See if it fits you. All right, got to tell you, holidays coming up next week. We here at My Motorverse really want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we hope to bring you more exciting and new vehicles in the coming year. And hey, always make sure you ask lots of questions. All right, folks, don't touch that dial. We'll be back next week with more exciting cars here at Lindo Lake.